And thank you very much for joining us here on Join Caucus. And which brings us together the NDC and the NPP. And we will be looking at two issues in particular. First, the die is cast and the aspirants have become candidates. The NDC's John Mahama is candidate 1 on the ballot paper, whilst the NPP is number 3, with the others in between and after. Already the spin has begun, but does placement really matter? Meanwhile, the NDP's Nanakunuda Juman Rawlings, who did not place at all, is threatening legal action. But does the outcome of this action matter to the two leading parties? And if it does, how importantly? And then the Supreme Court has thrown out the suit challenging the creation of the 45 new constituencies by the controversial CI 78, effectively clearing the last possible hurdle in a way of the many aspirants wanting to contest in these new constituencies as MPs. But does it rest the matter? We will examine it here on Join Caucus. With me to look at the issues first is for the minority, Nana Kofi Opon-Damwa, who is a member of the MPP communications team, and Anita D'Souza, who is the NDC women organizer. Thank you very much, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start with you, Madam D'Souza. You watched what happened today at the balloting. Your candidate is first on the ballot paper. Does it matter to you at all? I'm sure you see there's some sort of a blessing in disguise. I've heard some of your colleagues say.
Thank you very much and good evening to our viewers. It's a blessing, and to the party we are very happy and glad because it's not easy to educate the voters on how to vote. So my fear was we don't want to crash with NPP where maybe one will be at the top, the other at the down. If you are not very careful, most of the ballot papers will be rejected. Because at times the aged or those who are not familiar with the voting may not thumbprint very well, and at the end of the day it will not help us. So being on the first slot and MPP being on the third, I think it will save us. And it also gives us the opportunity to talk to our people, and they'll find it very easy because even we have started telling them what to do when they get there. And the president have also started. When we went to the northern voter and the northern region, we started training them. So I'm very happy being on the first slot will surely help us a lot.
I've heard already some of your colleagues trying to put a particular spin on the #1 slot. Some say when we told you that it's going to be one touch, that is what it means. And others are saying, well, Mahama is going for the first time as president and he's going to get it. Others also say, well, for the NPP to be number 3, it means that Nana Akufo-Addo will have to go the 3rd time, and so this year it's not his. Do you ascribe to any of those spinning on these various positions?
That's their view, but I believe that it will help us to educate the voters very well. Because if you watch carefully, 2008 elections, most of the ballot papers were rejected, over 200,000 ballot papers. So I think if you're on the first slot, it will surely help us. We are not going to have problems with the NPP, whereby the party agents will be fighting at the polling stations now.
Kofi, number 3 not good for you?
First of all, let me state that it's my party's position that, you know, all of this juggling and spinning as to where you are on the ballot paper is actually absolutely unnecessary.
Are you sure? Because I heard your national chairman saying that, well, that's Trinity.
I'm coming.
And it's pretty important for the party.
I'm coming. Now, you see, it's interesting, but it's normal in the political process that when things of this sort happen, you see all sort of interpretations coming out. That this is the political season. It's exciting when things like this happen, and, you know, everybody would want to gain an advantage or, you know, show a prowess of a sort. But critically, my flag bearer today has spoken that number 3, yes. It's interesting that the NDC is putting a spin on it, that it's 1, and so when they say it's 1 touch, that's what they meant. Because I remember that in 2008, we were number 1, they were number 3. And they said it's a Trinity thing, and so they were going to win. They won, we didn't win, they were number 1. That was the first time Nana Dankwa was competing in a presidential election anyway. And so for us, if I choose to, I can say that the wheel of fortune has turned upside down. We are now number 3, they are now number 1. What does that tell you if 2008 is anything to go by? Again, that argument of Nana Addo will have to go for a 3rd time. This is his 3rd time anyway. First time, round 1. Second time, round 2. and this is his third time. We didn't go for time.
Well, some may say
we didn't go for time.
The first two you mentioned, maybe internal party politics. Remember in 2007 when he had to go through that long process with all the other
in national elections
challenging him.
In national elections, 2008 we went for a first round, we went for a second round, and this is the third time Nana Akufo-Addo is challenging for the presidency.
I see.
Third time lucky. I can give you a myriad of interpretations here right now, all of which will favor my party.
But isn't that what it has been? I'm asking these questions because of a certain history to these positions and placements. You recall when the MPP took marketing advantage of the Asieho slogan, and then subsequently you got Esroho, and again you used that to your advantage. And
so
in both elections, you did quite well.
Yes, and subsequently, in 2004, it was neither Asieho or Esroho, but we won anyway. In 2008, the NDC was neither Asieho or Esroho, but they won anyway. So what I'm saying is, yes, for the political season, for the political juggling and all of that, it's interesting. We expect such views to come up, but critically, it's neither here nor there. What is actually most important, what my flag bearer has said, is the message that we're carrying across to the people of Ghana. Whether the people of Ghana associate themselves and are willing to listen to us and give us a chance on the basis of track record. That's the key thing.
Anita made a point I just want to get your impression on, because she says that for the people in the rural areas who probably have heard Nana Akufo-Addo and might not have necessarily seen how he looks like, and there are people like that in the remotest parts of the country, if you go to the booth and I say, just look for number one, the first image you see, put your thumb there. That's pretty easy to say to somebody like that.
You know,
won't that affect your placement?
That challenge is something that they have because of the newness of their candidate. And their candidate is not very well on the ground and all of that. But my candidate has been through this country more than 3 times in the last 4 years. He's marketed himself very well. So it's very difficult to come across any individual in Ghana today who does not know what Nana Addo looks like. In any case, my political tradition is just about the elephant. Very easy to identify. I understand the challenges that they have, which is okay. It's normal. It's understandable in the scheme of things. But we don't think so.
Anita, you agree with that? So. That your candidate is not as visible and known as theirs, and so that's why you would say that?
Maybe to him, but to me, I think that our candidate is very popular. He has been an MP for 12 good years. Also been a deputy minister for communication, later became a minister, then vice president, and now the president. They know him very well because during 2008, he was also part of the campaign trail. He has been to a lot of villages and they know him. And this time to going to contest as a president, it's not a new thing. People have seen him, they know how he looks like, the way he behaves, the way he comports himself. So this is the time for the whole world to know that yes, these elections will be free and fair. And at the end of the day, the winner will come out. And I know NDC is going to win. Akufo-Addo can be there. He is saying that he has been to the villages. I wish to know how many villages have Akufo-Addo been to. He goes to only the cities. He does not go to the rural part of this country. I wish he goes there so that people will see him. He's also saying that the elephant, people would easily identify the elephant. Fine. People are not going to vote because there is elephant. They are going to vote because a candidate is good and is marketable. This is what I believe in.
I want to throw in a controversial subject, and that subject really borders on a particular name, Nana Akufo-Addo, because it has to do also with the balloting, because her image will not be on the ballot paper. I want to start with you, Kofi. Some have suggested that for the NPP going to this election, a lot was riding on Nana Akufo-Addo's ability to campaign properly as a presidential candidate, probably divide NDC votes, and then, you know, pave the way for the NPP to make the most of that. I'm sure you've heard the accusation that even at their Congress in Kumasi, the NPP were behind the organization, getting people for them in the stadium and etc. Unfortunately for you, she lost out because of circumstances that the EC says amounts to errors in her form. How do you respond to those positions? First of all,
let me say that it's erroneous to say that my party was counting on Nana Akufo-Addo splitting or attempting to split the NDC. We've always won elections in this country on our own. Sometimes, you know, In 2000, with an amalgamation. 2004, we won on our own. In 2008, we won the first round of the election on our own. Nana Konadu was never a part of our scheme anyway, but we've been able to win elections anyway. So that argument is neither here nor there. I think that, you know, people are allowed to come up with their own ideas and explanations on what it is that they want. But really, it's neither here nor there. We, as a political party, have always come up with their strategy. For me, I think this is a blessing to the NDC because, you know, it rather cuts down on that potential threat. Because be that as it may, the NDP was not just another political party.
So you acknowledge
it wasn't
NDP,
just another breakaway party. You
acknowledge the NDP party was going to be a threat for the NDC?
Well, it was going to be something that was going to affect their fortunes as a political party.
But if it affects the end, that's a small point to add to the conversation. If it affects their fortunes, automatically then, it in your favor.
Not necessarily.
Maybe I'm not understanding what you mean when you say it will affect their fortunes.
The NDP is a political party. We live in a multi-party democracy where a breakaway party coming out from the NDC may not necessarily only take votes away from the NDC, but it could affect our fortunes as well because they may take some of our votes. You see, the dynamics of it, any keen political watcher who knows the facts on the ground will see that, for instance, the candidature of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is not an heir like her husband. So if those who believe in ethnic politics will look at it in a way that, well, she's an Ashanti, which may affect our base. She's an Ashanti royal. Those who believe in ethnicity politics will look at it from that angle and say it could affect us as well. So really, it is neither here nor there. Any keen political observer who understands the dynamics of politics in Ghana at this present moment will say that, well, it will be very erroneous for any political party to go ahead with its vision, you know, banking on the actions of another political party.
This is good news for your party. Because certainly, as political watchers have said, Nana Konadu, if at all, was going to take away some of your votes. Now she's not on the ballot.
Do you know why I'm happy? You know, it was MPP agenda to destroy our votes in order to win. This is not the first time. That's a very erroneous statement. This is not the first time that they have started this game. They started it long time ago.
I wanted to have the time to respond. When you were speaking, to be fair to her, she didn't say a word. Yes, please.
I didn't make categorical statements against the party.
You want to take notes?
I didn't make categorical statements.
You want to take the notes, and then once she's done, you can respond.
I just think it's unfair.
Is it not surprising that of late MPP, they are now defending the former First Lady? Somebody that they have taken to court so many years, now all of a sudden have changed supporting her. Is it not strange that Akufo-Addo can go to Rawlings' house just to chat with him, for Rawlings to give him a blessing? Somebody that they have insulted, that he's a killer, he is this, he's a thief, he is this. Now they are going back to that person because they sat down and thought through it that no, if we don't go in order to split their vote, we are not going to win. So let's go for that. And they went for it, thinking that they will win. When they went to the Congress last Saturday, we were at Pasai. To be frank, when I heard on Friday that Akufo-Addo have gone to Rawlings' house, I wept within. I was on platform. I wept within because I did not understand. A lot of people have died because of the Rawlings' family. And it's MPP. Look at this elections, 2004 and then 2008. Even 1996 and 2000, people died because of the first family. And all of a sudden, everything changed. But one thing I believe as a Christian, that there are things that starts from the spiritual realm before it comes to the physical realm. You know, Saturday they went to Kumasi. Look at the people who went there. Should they go to stadium to have their program there? Because we also went there. It's like a competition. I can tell you frankly that it is NPP supporters, about 99.9% who went there. Do you know why I'm saying this?
I'll ask you for evidence, and I'm sure you will not have any that will convince anybody.
The reason why I'm saying this is, they went last Saturday, right? And tomorrow will be 1 week. Weren't they having the forms? They were having those forms, the EC forms. No. Why didn't they wait? Even if they were not having. As a political party, you need to look for people who are going to endorse your forms. Upper East, Upper West, Northern, Brahafu, even in Volta region. most people were not there. Because they saw that, no, why should the first family that we love so much all of a sudden change? It's very funny for Akufo-Addo to go there. I just want to tell them they have rather helped NDC more, and it's going to affect them. If it will not affect them, then it's better they keep quiet. Why am I saying that? Look at Sir John, what he's saying. Somebody who called himself a lawyer. Look at what he's saying. That is the President Mahama who went and bribed Yisi. That means that when they were in power, they were bribing Yisi. But God so good, Yisi were firm and they did not accept their bribery. So for you, they thought that we are also doing the same thing.
So for you, you're quite pleased that Nana Rawlings is on the ballot?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm telling you, she's my mom. I'm very happy. She brought me to this stage. So why should such a thing happen to the first family?
Some may say that confirms that the NDC had all along been pretty scared of the NDP.
Let me tell you one thing. Even a vote counts. A vote counts. So if my mother is leaving my party to form her own party, it pains me a lot because she's the one that I look up to. And I prayed and God listened to me, because most people who listen to me on radio programs or TV, I do tell them we should not insult them. Let's fast and let's pray. And at the end of the day, God have listened to our prayers. I don't know why all of a sudden MPP is not trying to support my mother. Now why should UC behave like this? After all, they help Edward Mahama from PNC. Why can't they assist Konedu? When did they become good friends? When? This shows that they were afraid of NDC winning. So they thought that why can't we go in and change their fortune? Now it has failed. It has failed.
I am terribly sad when I hear such comments. And I'll tell you why. The NDC recently has been making a lot of comments about let's have peace in this country and there will be peaceful elections and we should be each other's keeper. Assuming without admitting that all of what Madam has said is true. That yes, it's a known secret that Nana Akufo-Addo and ex-President Rawlings have had some frosty relations. Today, if they've come together to send peaceful signals to the people of Ghana, considering the high level of tension in this country, why should it be a problem for a political party in Ghana? And listen to this argument again. You know, there's the tensions in this country rose to a certain level before the sad passing away of Professor John Evans Mills. That poured some cold water onto the situation, but it started festering again. We sat down and we realized, look, these are the issues. We need to send signals that, yes, we are political opponents, but we are not necessarily enemies. So if the NDC has no interest in keeping that enmity between certain sections of the Ghanaian public, why should it be a problem that one individual has met another? In the scheme of things,
there is.
Listen, we should learn to preach peace. And I don't think that the positioning of any political party should be that when there's peace between any group of former enemies, enemies in quote, they should have problems with that. Really, what's the point? Then it means that your political party stands to gain from that enmity. And so you are interested in fueling that enmity. If you're not interested in fueling enmity, if you're not interested in, fueling divisions within the Ghanaian society, political opponents have met. Individuals, two individuals who have had a very long history of acrimony have finally met together. And see, I like what ex-President Rawlings said, that, you're not going to hear Titia again. You know what that tells you? That we are moving away from that political culture where instead of debating issues, we're rather going to get into name calling and things like that. The ex-president in a joke, and we were able to laugh over this and let it go. That sends the right signals to the people that look, that person somewhere in a Tiwa who is so angry, looking to, get out there on voting day to do something. The signal has been sent to that individual, even Nana Akufo-Addo and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings are friends. My brother, what you are seeking to do will not help you. The right signals have been sent out. Why should it be the problem of any political party in Ghana that some people have met? And it's interesting again that the founder of their own political party came out to say that he's surprised at the negative twists that his party is seeking to give his meeting with the candidates of the opposition party.
Let's come back quickly to the issue about the ballot and Nana because I'm just reading on myjournal.com that Mahama bribed EC to disqualify Nanado. According to Sir John, you side with that?
Konedu.
According to Sir John, yes.
I haven't seen that that particular news item you're talking about. You're just telling me about it. I'd want to read it before I make any further comments on it.
But if that is the case, some may suggest that, well, it confirms. The question will be, why is it that key NPP personalities seem to be going to the defense of the NDP? And
number one, my party
herself
would go to the defense of anybody who is unjustly treated in the Ghanaian system. And this is not the first time we're doing this, number one. Number two, the question you should also therefore ask is that why is it that the NDC,
he'll come back.
Why is it, the question that should flow from it is that, why is it that the NDC is also interested in fueling enmity between the MPP and the First Family?
Okay, I want to pause there. I want to take a quick break. I'll take a final words from you, Madam Anita D'Souza, and then we'll move on to the subject of the John Mahama at the IEA.